Lokati here. We're going to go over just like a really quick leveling guide for this shield warrior build that I just put up. So we're going to start off as a warrior and going down the typical warrior route of get melee damage. Like these are going to be the first nodes that you get all the way to smash. These are good base nodes for damage throughout the whole game. Smash gives us a ton of damage against stunned enemies, and so this is a great way to go. You're going to start off with these nodes right here. Once you're done with these nodes, we're going to rush down over here to Burning Strikes. Burning Strikes forgoes us from using Brutality as a support, and so instead we'll be replacing Brutality with Fire Attunement. But Burning Strikes is a ton of extra damage, and it gives us a source of Ignite. And having the fire damage allows us to get a weapon with fizz and fire damage on it and still scale our ignites. It gives us just good quality of life, great clear. It's a solid passive right here. Once you're done with this, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to beeline down to these armor nodes and this polished iron. This node right here basically solves light stuns, which are a nightmare in the game. And so it's very nice to not have to deal with light stuns. It also gives us a ton of stun threshold for Resonating Shield when we get access to Resonating Shield. So this is absolutely the way I would go starting off on the build. And now once you're down to here, the next thing I would do is I would rush over to Behemoth. Behemoth is an AoE wheel here. So we have area damage, area of effect, and 3% life. And then up here to our impact wheel and take our whole impact wheel. These two wheels give you so much AoE, so much damage. It just makes clear on the build feel very, very good. Now, whenever you're done with these, you can come right over here and take Battle Fever. You can come over here to Feral Force and Bestial Rage, and you'll have a great basis for a ton of damage on the build. Now, at this point, you're going to want to get some more AoE, so come over and take Devastation. And then we're going to want to start breaking armor a little bit more effectively because things are going to get tankier. So we're going to take down here to Cruel Methods. So we have increased armor break and increased fizz damage. This will give us a good basis for fizz and attack damage up here. And then the armor break is definitely icing on the build itself. At this point, you're around level 49, so you can start branching out to some more defensive nodes. This gives us 1% increased damage per chance to block, and also gives us attack skills and damage right here. This allows us to start going into shield nodes, so we can take Sturdy Metal, Relentless for armor, over to Defender's Resolve for block. We can come in here and take Unstoppable Barrier for block, and we can come down here and take Vigilance for block. Vigilance also has the side effect of giving us life whenever we block and give us some increased max block, which is very, very good. And so that'll get us some defensive nodes as well as the ability to scale some of our damage through defenses. Now, since we're scaling damage through defenses, we're going to want to come over here and take Greatest Defense. So we'll go down this path first, but Made to Last is one of the best defensive nodes in the game. So we're going to pick that up on the way. And heavy armor is optional. If you really don't have good boots, gloves, and helmets, don't worry about taking it. But if you have good boots, gloves, and helmets, make sure you take this. And then we'll sweep up in here and take Greatest Defense to get more damage off of our defenses. And then hunker down for more life recovery when you block and increase max block. And this will put us at 77, far enough out of the campaign so that we can start respecking and using weapon swaps and everything that we need to do for our character to kind of min-max him from here on out. So this will be a good basis for your passive tree as you're leveling. As far as skills while you're leveling, you're going to want to start off in... We're not going to show these in POB because POB actually doesn't have all the skills. So we'll come in the game here. You're going to want to start off with Rolling Slam and Bone Shatter. You're just going to Rolling Slam around until something is primed for stun, and then you're going to Bone Shatter it. Now this will give you enough clear to get down to Shield Charge. Once you get to Shield Charge, you're going to want 3 support gems on Shield Charge. The 3 support gems that you want on Shield Charge are going to be Armor Explosion, Stomping Ground, and armor break. So it's armor break or armor break 2 or armor break 3, any one of those, armor explosion, and stomping ground. Now, if it's your first character and you don't have access to a jeweler, the first opportunity you get an exalted orb drop, use that exalted orb so you can get armor explosion. And then the second opportunity you have to get a tier 2, get armor break on shield charge. If you don't have it, just stomping ground, fire infusion. It's perfectly fine for shield charge as a 2-link. You're going to shield charge around for a long time killing everything. Now, as you level up, you'll get access to Resonating Shield. Resonating Shield gives us the ability to break armor easier, gives us the ability to put armor explosion on Resonating Shield, fire infusion on Resonating Shield, and immolate or any other fire support on Resonating Shield, so that you can use Resonating Shield as a way to reposition, move around, do damage, and block all at the same time. Finally, at level 26, I think 26, you're going to get access to Shield Wall. Shield Wall is the bread and butter of your damage. It has massive screen-wide AoE. It has massive amounts of damage. It gives you a way to block projectiles and push melee units off of you while you're fighting. So it's defensive and offensive. It's very, very strong. Once you get access to Shield Wall, you'll primarily be using Shield Charge, Resonating Shield, and Shield Wall, as well as Infernal Cry or Fortifying Cry, depending on how you want to design your character. And so Shield Wall is going to be supported initially with Fire Attunement and Heavy Swing. Later on, you'll get access to Heft. And then if you are a Titan, you'll use Armor Break to make sure that you can generate endurance charges so that you can use Infernal Cry to shatter your shield wall. And so that's how the play style is going to go. So it's fairly straightforward. It's Rolling Slane Bone Shatter until you get Shield Charge, and then Shield Charge Bone Shatter until you get Resonating Shield, and then Shield Charge Resonating Shield and Bone Shatter until you get Shield Wall, and then Shield Charge Resonating Shield and Shield Wall, as well as Infernal Cry in order to shatter the wall. Now you can use your Shield Charge to shatter the wall as well, but as you're clearing, it's much nicer to drop a wall and then Cry, because Cry has a 0.8 second use time, and then Shield Charge has like 1 to 1.2 second use time because of the attack mechanics on it. You can dodge roll out of the Shield Charge if you're using it just to break the wall, but again, dodge rolling takes extra time. So Shield Wall, Infernal Cry back and forth with the endurance charges off of Shield Wall makes for great damage on your character. Now, while you're leveling, make sure you are keeping your one-handed mace leveled up, your two-handed mace leveled up for Bone Shatter, and then you're going to use that two-handed mace for Hammer of the Gods whenever you get down here to Hammer of the Gods. So your one-handed mace, keep it leveled up, make sure it has melee skills on it and good damage. Make sure your two-handed mace has melee skills on it and good damage, and make sure your shield has armor. Armor. As much armor as you can. If you can get life on it and fizz damage reduction and armor applies to elemental damage, that's just icing on the cake. Just get armor. You want as much armor as you can. Most of your damage is going to scale from this armor. If you have any questions, come by YouTube or Twitch. Happy to help. Thank y'all very much. Peace.